this channel because I want to tell my story. So in the past couple of years, I've noticed a lot of younger people getting into bodybuilding. So I wanted to create this platform to tell my story, to hopefully help somebody make smarter decisions than I did getting into it. And I won't bore you with the details of how I got into it or why I got into it. I'll kind of focus more on what I did wrong. I am currently still bodybuilding. I do plan on doing my pro debut late next year. But these are just some of the things that I got very, very wrong getting into it. So these are some of the things that I would caution, especially young women getting into the sport. Starting with, I'll just jump right in. Obviously, my voice, the elephant in the room. I'm not trans. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm not. And it's a side effect, a direct side effect of gear usage, which is, if you're not familiar with bodybuilding at all, a very, very prevalent part of the sport. It is quite literally everywhere, and even if the industry says that it's tested, there's a good chance they're not actually testing. And of course, getting into this sport, if you're enhanced, which most people are, just being completely transparent, there's not a whole lot of natties out there. There's a lot of fake natties. There's not a whole lot of real natties. And you would know if you stepped into any gym. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I'm not calling anybody out here. But from my experience being in this sport, or whatever you want to call it, some people don't call it a sport, whatever, being into bodybuilding since 2013 is when I started. There's a whole lot that goes behind the scenes that people don't talk about. It's gotten better that I've seen in the past couple of years, people being honest, but it's still not completely honest in my opinion. There's still people claiming to be natty when they're not, which is... the point of this channel is not to call that out. It's to give my story, tell my truth, if you want to say it that way, but really to give another perspective. I don't know. There's not much out there when it comes to the female side. So one of my first mistakes when I first got into bodybuilding was listening to the wrong people. And what made it really hard about my unique circumstances was that I got into it in a time before social media was really a thing. I mean, it was a thing, but like TikTok didn't exist. Instagram didn't exist. I think Facebook did, but things weren't as talked about as they are now. Coaches were not vetted. They were not, nobody was qualified to do what they were doing. It was kind of like a whole lot of mess. And so a coach had approached me and ended up, I told him what I wanted. I told him I wanted to be as muscular as I could. I told him that I, was willing to do whatever it took, which was probably not the best words that I could have chosen. But also I didn't really know the extent of what could be done with enhancements and things like that. Was completely new. And I was 22 when I first officially got into bodybuilding, when I got my first coach. And he immediately put me on so much gear, so much gear. And I had no idea about the side effects. I didn't know the risks. He actually told me that there was no risks. And that's why my very first mistake was listening to the wrong people. So getting into more of what I have experienced as a female bodybuilder. I've experienced the voice, enlargement of certain things. I've lost my period on several occasions. One time for almost 3 years. I have experienced hair loss, skin issues. The most recent one is cystitis, which I'm still currently dealing with, unfortunately. And my doctors do think it was directly related to gear usage. And eventually I will get into all this. I will break down exactly what I was doing wrong. I'm going to end the video here because this is my very first one. And